So welcome to the Green Winch Good Vape Vaping channel. I do other stuff, but it's mainly vaping stuff. On this, I'm going to answer a question. How long should a coil last? It's a bit of a trick question, to be honest, because it's going to vary by how much you vape it, what age you're vaping it at, how often you're vaping. I think I've already said that. But it's going to vary between all them factors. The nicotine levels might affect it more. If you've got more PG, more VG, there's no set number. You won't see on the back of a box of any coils and it will say this will last 7,000 vapes. It never normally says anything like that. It varies from person to person, how much you vape, how long you're vaping at a time. Everything affects the coil. Everything affects the lifespan of the coil. My rule of thumb, I do have a little rule of thumb. If a coil lasts a month of daily use, you've got good value for money from that coil. Coils come in all shapes and sizes. There's one there, there's one in a packet. They come in all various shapes and sizes, and there's wires and there's meshes and there's all sorts. But what I find, and I've used a lot of coils going all the way back, I've been vaping a long time, going all the way back to when it was the silica whip, and now it's all silica wick, and now it's all this cotton stuff. And you could clean your coils. Back then you could clean them, and it was possible to clean them. It is now, but it's an hassle. It's an hassle that I can't be bothered with, and I don't think it's worth it in the long run. Back then you could dry burn them up. Years ago I used to put videos up of dry burning and cleaning the old Kanga coils and all them sort of things, and you could get away with it. They would last, I don't know about longer, but they would last quite a while. Nowadays with all the cotton and that, you can't really dry burn them because it would just burn the cotton. So yeah, it varies, but I do find mesh coils, and like I say, I've had a lot of coils in my time, I do find mesh coils last longer. It might be a week, it might be a few days, but they do last longer. Trust me, they do last a bit longer. And it also depends on the company. Some companies' coils are good, some ain't so good. It depends on a range of factors. And sometimes you even get a dodgy coil, because these coils are made in bulk by factory after factory. You're not always going to get 100% every coil you make come out working as it should. You're going to get some dodgy coils. It's just a factor of life with these manufacturing processes and all that. You're going to get dodgy coils. It happens. Them times you accept, you put a coil and you think, hold on, what's going on here? You're just going to have to chuck that one away. You've got a bad coil. It happens to everyone. It just happens. And then you can go down the road of counterfeit coils. That happens as well. You can buy it from a reputable source, and it could still be a counterfeit. It just got in the system, or you've gone on some dodgy website thinking these coils are cheaper, I'll just get these ones, they're in the same box. They could be counterfeit. It's always best to go to stores and online websites and stuff that you know and you've heard of. But let's just go back to how long a coil should last. I reckon a month. A month shows me good value. Using it every day for a month, in my eyes, is good value. 2 to 3 weeks, you're pretty much on the average. If you get to that 2 to 3 week mark, you've done well. You've done well on your coil. I've done a bit of an experiment, and I'm going to show you that in a second, just because I used a coil for 2 months. 2 months I had the same coil in. Granted, I didn't use that same coil every single day, but I used it a lot. It was the mod I took to work. It's all in bits here because I took it apart. It's all in bits. It's the Scar tank from Vaporesso. But it don't matter what tank it is. I just used it for 2 months. I didn't change that coil for like I said, I didn't use it every day, but I used it most of the time. I'm just moving something there. Because I had to test and stuff, other vapes that I was reviewing at the time. And sometimes I have 2 on me, all that sort of stuff. But it was pretty much, it was in there for 2 months. It was vaped every day for 2 months, but maybe not all day, every day. But it's still got a lot of vapour out of it. And it's been playing up. And you can tell when coils going. So going to when coils are going, when the taste of the e-liquid you're in it starts to drop off. If you get any sort of funny sort of taste, not burning, we're not going on burning, just funny sort of taste, it don't quite sort of taste right, that coil's going. If you get burning, if the coil burns, if you've dried it out, if you've not put your e-liquid in, the coil's burnt out, the cotton's gone, it's game over. You've hit like the game over screen there. If it starts to taste funky, you can get away with a few more days. You can just keep at it. You might get a bit more funky, or it might taste a little bit more. Well, this ain't as nice as it should be. The coil's going. You're getting to that stage where the coil's going. You can also look at the coil. Coils are pretty clean. Look at that. When they start to go, they go this sort of colour. That's exactly the same coil. It's not the same coil, but it's the same make of coil. New, old. That's the one that's been in there for 2 months. We're going to do some close-ups. I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to do some close-up. I'm going to pull it apart if I can. I've never pulled one of these apart, but it should come apart easy. They all pretty much come apart easy. And we'll have a look at it. So this is a coil after 2 months. How long should a coil last? If it's 1 month, you've done well. Like I say, that has been in there for 2 months. And I was vaping it not so long ago, and it was still vaping. It weren't the nicest. I weren't getting the crisp flavours that I should be, but it was still vaping. So let's turn the camera around, have a look at this 2-month-old coil that has been sitting in juice for 2 months. It's been vaped every day for 2 months, some days all day, a lot of the days all day I might add, because it is my favourite coil at the moment that I'm vaping. So we're going to have a look, and if you have hit that subscribe button, then thank you. But let's have a look at this coil. So here we go on the close-up of this coil. This is the brand new coil. This is how it should look. This is a mesh coil from Vaporesso. And there we go. You can see the cotton's lovely and white. You can see all the way round on the mesh coil. Look at it there. That's just for comparison. That is a brand new coil. Look at that. Look at that. It has all this black stuff around it. Now you know when I turned it round, I weren't lying. This has been in there for 2 months. Look at that coil. I'm trying to light this as best I can. I am going to take this apart. Let's have a look at that cotton after 2 months. And look at that. That's the inside of this Vaporesso coil. This is that sort of spit guard part. So there we go. A 2-month-old. Oh, drop that there. A 2-month-old mesh coil. Look at that. So this is obviously time to change the coil. There's all this black stuff on there. Look at that. That is disgusting. But the mesh coil, if I run that over a tap, you can probably actually pretty much see it. That mesh coil is intact. That's not got no splits or burns in the coil. That mesh coil is still okay. There comes a chunk of cotton. Still a bit of white there. I think that's it. Is that it all? No, looks like there's another sheet. So I've got out as much as I can. These last bits you can see in here, they're kind of held in by another bit of metal. I probably could prise them out. There we go, it'll just prise out. And that's that. So the cotton ain't actually as dirty as I thought it would be. There's big chunks of gunk there, look at that. All that is nicotine and all sorts. That's how they should look. It's a brand new coil. This is just the mess this one's in. So as you saw there, that coil was absolutely rotten inside. It was the coil. It's got all that stuff. It's got all that nicotine and e-liquid and PG and VG and flavouring and all that, and it's just all getting trapped and clogged up in the coil. My hands were absolutely rotten. The cotton weren't that bad. That surprised me. There were some parts of the cotton that ain't too bad. And this one looks like it's just made of these strips of cotton, and there's some parts that are quite black. But the cotton overall weren't too bad. I thought it was the cotton that has let it down, but that is packed of all that. I don't know what it is. I don't know what to call it. That is just packed of it. But there's no splits. As far as I can see, there's no splits in that coil, that mesh coil. So it's just after time. It's just how it works over time. But that's like I say, a 2-month-old coil, absolutely rotten. Sorry if you didn't like some of that gunky sort of stuff. I'm going to put a new coil on there, and I'll be happy if it lasts me a month. This is the coil, the same as coils in this. I've now got this rubber band because I keep dropping it. And if you saw my other video where I dropped it and it smashed, I was a bit upset. So let's just have a quick vape of this. It's a decent vape. It's also got this little bit in here, this little metal part that helps all that spit back and all that sort of thing. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you want more coil taken apart gunky ham videos. I'll go and wash my hands, I think.